starting to look like war is unavoidable. JCOS is asking all sources for current division-level intelligence.
So, besides stopping World War III, is there anything else I can do for you this evening?
The base commander should have up-to-date intel about NKA divisional strength down the Kaesong-Munsan approach.
I'll try to schedule an appointment with the secretary.
Thing, you said there were 8 Fisher. Since everyone is asking everyone for intel, I'd love to have a few chips at the big table.
What can I get you, Will?
Looks like this battery has repair and maintenance capability for mechanized warfare support. Any shipping or repair logs you can recover would be a big help.
I'll find what I can.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to our Splinter Cell Chaos Theory walkthrough. It's mission number 8, Battery. So this mission took me quite a while to figure out. This mission can have a lot of ways it can go wrong, and every single time you do it, it's going to be different. It's never going to be the same. So when you're going through this mission, make sure that you keep that in mind, and you should be able to get through it as long as you have the patience. But yeah, so let's keep going here. So the first objective up ahead is the shipping logs that we have to retrieve. I believe there's 3 of them, so this is where the first one is.
Good work, Fisher. Looks like they tracked shipping and repair through 4 separate departments.
Gotta love military bureaucracy.
See if you can get the logs from the other 3.
Now serving number 67.
So one thing to note, if you want to get 100% on this mission, make sure that you complete all the objectives, not just your primary objectives. You have to complete all of them, including the opportunity objectives.
There was something there just a moment ago.
Hurry.
So if you don't want to get seen,
One of these days, I'm not gonna be a god anymore. But I have to fix it too.
OCP that light and you should be able to get by. So this is not a complete ghost walkthrough, but I'm going to be taking out some enemies, but hopefully you guys will be able to complete the mission as well.
Let the control room take over.
Who's in the control room?
How should I know?
So what? We're just going to leave the missile hanging there?
Orders. Deliver cargo to loading bay at facility 27-290. Nothing in there about working a bunch of cranes that we're not trained on.
Fair enough.
Okay, so these 2 guards can be tricky to get by. One of them is going to head downstairs, and the other guy, which is going to be making his way here, he's going to be heading down as well. Now, when one of them goes down, they'll actually sit down, and you'll pretty much be able to get by them. However, we have to get this circuit over here, and this whole area is nothing but light once you get past this section here. But I'll show you how to get by. You have to use the sticky camera in order to do this, otherwise you're not going to be able to get by this section without getting seen. So
someone moving around out there? Who? I don't know. That's what I'm worried. Did you hear that? I don't know.
Think I'm seeing things. Maybe. But if you are, I am seeing them too.
I wish you hadn't said that.
So at this point, the game pretty much breaks off into pretty much letting you go whatever direction you want to. So if you time everything correctly, you should be fine. I'm not sure why he's going this way.
I see what you're thinking, Fisher.
If they're just going to throw protocol to the wind and leave the warhead case unlocked,
Even detonating them won't destroy the battery.
no, but it will make an awful big mess.
This should not be off. No one here. No signs of disturbance.
So let this guy go and do his route. He'll only be a problem pretty much later on, so.
What happened to the lights? Curious. Come out from there and
So just know that when you're doing this level, you can take people out. Just make sure that you take them out in the dark and make sure that they are not found, because if you don't, it counts against you. Unlike the first two Splinter Cell games, where we pretty much had 3 alarms and the mission was over, this game kind of does away with that in terms of you can get 3 alarms and you're not going to fail the mission. However, if you want 100%, you have to complete every objective. You can't get around not completing every objective.
I thought I heard something for a moment there.
inspection of the West launcher.
And what is your report?
We did every test we could, sir.
And?
And, well, there was no malfunction, sir.
No malfunction. Curious. There is an $80 billion warship on the bottom of the sea, sunk by a missile that left this battery. The world is less than 12 hours from a war that will kill millions of people. And you're telling me that there was no malfunction?
We checked everything, sir. I assure you.
Well, Captain, the only two people in this building who could authorize that launch without approval are you and I. I know I did not do it, so if it wasn't a malfunction... I want you to run every test again. Then run whatever test the captain forgot until you find out what the hell happened with my missile. Sir! Yes, sir! Get out of my sight!
That seals it. The missile came from here, but they didn't launch it intentionally.
So that's a good thing. We can avoid a war.
Problem is that someone launched the missile intentionally.
Isn't that someone Doug Shetland using Zerkese's algorithms?
That seems likely, but I still need to see if there's a Dvorak fingerprint on the BIOS of the launcher that fired the missile.
Good work, Sam. One more shipping log to go, and we'll have an accurate picture of their mechanized capabilities in the region.
I'll find it.
Is someone moving around out there? Who? I don't know who. That's why I'm worried.
So you pretty much have one shipping log left, and it shouldn't take long. Wait for that door to close. And that completes that section. Now you can interrogate that guy, but if you interrogate him, one of the guys can look and find his body, so that's why I didn't interrogate the colonel. You can interrogate him. It's up to you how you want to actually do it. But really, you don't even have to touch the guy. You're just basically going there to get the second shipping, or the third shipping log, or second one, whatever. So now we got to get the final one, and then stop the missile launch.
GPS sequencer, check. Network receiver, check. Okay.
Did I just do something?
Okay, IGS and GPS. Let's see. Inertial gyroscope. Accelerometer, check. Biometric calibrator, check. GPS sequencer, check. Network receiver, check.
Good work, Fisher.
I'm uploading the arming sequence codes for Grimm. Lambert, if worse comes to worst, and I'm still here.
You don't even need to say it, Sam.
So this next section, we have a couple of guards. It shouldn't take long for you to figure out the patterns. As long as you follow exactly what I'm doing, you should be good to go. This guy's pretty simple. You should be able to knock him out. You should be good to go.
Before you can tap into the BIOS, you'll need to open the casing.
I didn't bring my crowbar.
Whatever. Crowbars are for geeky video game characters. Put the launcher into its maintenance position. There should be a switch in the control room directly beneath you.
So this section is where that random RNG can happen. So I'm not going to head in this room just yet because anything can happen. This guy's sitting down. So I'm going to give it a couple of seconds and pretty much see. I mean, pretty much after this point here, you're pretty much fine. We've taken out all the guards that are in our way or in our path, except for that one guard that I didn't take out. So the reason I don't want to open the door just yet is because this guy can see exactly what you are doing and he can get a glimpse of you. So there's not much shadow in this room. I mean, there's a little bit of it, but there's not much of it at all. So okay. So as you can see, we have two guys. There's a guy working there and there's a guy over here. I want to be able to do this just right. So let's see what I can do. This guy's gonna sit back down. So see, I don't want to take him out because I'm afraid that this guy's gonna get up here, but I know I have to take him out eventually, so we'll give it one more pattern and then we can go ahead about it. See, this guy can see you, so if I were to come out and go the long way around, he'll get a glimpse of me, and he'll pretty much be looking around and stuff, so. So we're going to wait on this guy here, because he's going to get up. At some point. But this whole mission is pretty much based off of RNG, so it's just random. Every time you play this mission, it's going to be different. There could be times where you go through that door there and the guy doesn't see you. There could be times where you open the door and he does see you, and he's not even looking in your direction. So that's why we wait, because if I were to have taken this guy out and I didn't wait for his pattern, he would see the body, and that does count against you even if you knock the guy out. And since this is a 100% stealth walkthrough where we get a 100% rating for not being caught, I don't want to be caught because one guy, I knocked him out, and a guy seen him, and it because of one guard. So that's why I'm being a little bit cautious. So this video may be a little bit longer than some of the other missions, but I want to make sure that this mission is done the way that it needs to be done. And you guys can get through it and have the same luck. So.
Give me some support!
Good job, Sam. From the parts and transport requests, it looks like this facility is significantly more important than our latest estimates.
Well, you know me. Always where the action is.
Alright, that opened the casing. You can access the motherboard on the launcher itself and recover any routing data from the BIOS.
Hopefully that didn't mess up anything. I guess we'll find out at the end, so.
Good work, Sam. I'm scanning the BIOS now. Yeah, that's a Dvorak fingerprint.
Where did it come from? Hokkaido? The displaced officers?
Seoul.
What? As in South Korea? Are you telling me the U.S. just got drawn into a war protecting the people that sank the Walsh?
I can't trace it back farther than Seoul.
Well, what do I do?
Sweet Jesus, Fisher. The NKA just committed. They're coming across the DMZ. We're at war.
Why? We just found proof they didn't launch the missile.
Good Lord, speaking of missile launches, that battery just lit up like a smoker getting off an airplane.
They're not targeting our ships, are they?
Active radar is up. It looks like a launch is imminent. Fisher, you need to abort that missile.
You got it, boss.
Damn it! What's wrong with this?
See, the guards, they just follow you no matter what, so. Make sure you always OCP the camera and the light. Didn't want to take a chance with this guy just because of how his pattern is, so.
Black hell! You're too late.
The warhead won't arm until it's a few hundred meters from its target. If I can dig up the abort codes.
Good thinking. Check launch control directly under the platform.
I'm on my way.
Make it fast, Fisher. Flight time on that missile is 3 minutes.
Flight pad and targeting computer.
So if you move up a certain way, this guy will actually get up. We're gonna knock him out too.
Ready for readback.
Primary target carrier.
He's one of those guys that he has a pattern that's very, very unpredictable.
Those are the abort
So.
I still need to bypass the override circuit from the missile control room.
Hurry. The missile is closing on the USS Ronald Reagan at top speed.
Hold on. Did you just tell me I need to win one for the Gipper?
Dude, what does that even mean?
Never mind. You're right, Grim. I am old.
So that guy, he's got a pattern that's just, it's random base. He could stay in that position for a while. He could turn right back around and go sit back down at the computer. It just depends on what pattern that you actually receive.
Good job, Sam. Missile aborted.
That's it? It's dust?
No, but the warhead can't arm. Even if it gets past the Reagan's balance, it'll hit the hull and crumple like a beer can.
Crumpling beer cans. But the sailors are best at this.
Very funny. You need to make your way to extraction.
Right, I'm on my way.
Sorry there wasn't a lot of commentary during this mission, guys. I just wanted to focus on this mission because it's taken me quite a while to figure out this mission. So hopefully we got 100%. So guess we'll find out here in the end. Hopefully we got 100%. I hope that guy didn't see the other guy's body. So let's find out. So all of our objectives are completed except stop the launch of the missile. It was canceled, but we ended up stopping it anyway. We completed our opportunity objectives and our bonus objective. There was no secondary objective. But if you do not complete all your primary objectives and your secondaries or opportunities or bonus objectives, you will not get 100% stealth. So let's see if we got 100% stealth. Man, I was so worried about that. We completed it in 26 minutes, 7 seconds. We were not identified as the intruder. We knocked out 8 enemies, and those were the only enemies that were in our way. No bodies were found, no alarms were triggered, and we received a success rating of 100%. This mission was one of the toughest missions, but it's not as tough as the next mission coming up, so hopefully I was able to help you guys out, and you guys were able to complete this mission, and hopefully you guys got the rating that you guys wanted to get on this mission. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.